on the pose, looks pretty good. One thing you'll notice with walks and runs is that the root is centered over the foot carrying the weight. So since this foot is solidly on the ground, the root is going to be shifted over this side. Another thing you'll find is the hips are tilted up towards the foot carrying the weight, so they're going to be tilted at that angle, and the shoulders are going to be opposite that. And actually, one of these guys is a really nice example. Look at the angle of those shoulders, and look at the angle of those hips. I think it's a little bit exaggerated just because of the his shirt, but you can see this foot's off the ground, and so you can see the hips are angled that way, and the shoulders are the opposite. And it's a little bit hard to tell if the root's centered over the weight, the foot carrying the weight, but you can kind of tell. This guy, he's in mid-step, so the root's going to be, and so is this guy. There's this guy, maybe you can a little bit tell that the root is centered over that. And actually, this is kind of a nice example of how the root is shifted. Like that's the center of his root. It's almost overlapping, almost beyond the edge. It's like kind of on the outside edge of his foot. So just a few principles to keep aware of for any pose, not just walking, really for anything. But when the weight is where this guy's almost equal between two feet, he's still a little bit on this foot, but you'll find these things a little bit more level and the root kind of centered between the two when you're halfway through the step. Um, but let's just put this guy through his paces and see. Oh, I really like this shoe texture. It's so clean. Really nice. Um, yeah, that's working well. Nice. I'm actually, well, because it's alright. I feel like the shoulder joint placement is further out. That I would have put it more here, I think. That's what it looks. That's why you're getting some of this funny result here. I think it's okay, but I would have put it further in. You can try going back to fit skeleton and scooting it in, and then kind of be curious to know what happens if we did that, if it'll keep the bind. But let's look at the rest of it first, and then we can play with that and see. Yeah, so you have the same problem. I feel like a few people sort of missed this in in the module. There was a thing about weighting the head. That's under the top under the page on flooding weights. It has a whole thing about you can see this head squishing the same way, and it shows you how to flood the weights on the head and get that right. And it's the same. See that same thing's happening, where the whole head's just squishing, and you can kind of see it here too. Like you see how well, actually, maybe it's not doing it as much as I thought. I might have to take that back. Oh, that's my mistake. I take that back. I don't know. There was something about it that looked like it was squishing, but I am mistaken. You did weight that correctly. Um, okay. Yeah, you mentioned you didn't do the eyeballs, but oh, I think you didn't put the eyeball joints in the right place. Oh, and they're not separated from the head. They're combined. Oh, all right. Yeah, you shouldn't have those combined. Dang it. Yeah, there's a few little problems there. Um, it might be theoretically possible to get. All right. Well, let's go back to. I don't know if it keeps has a magical way of keeping the weights if you go back to fit skeleton and then back to. I mean, it might do it. So let's go toggle fit skeleton, and I would take this and go just D so it doesn't affect the other joints, and kind of move that more where I imagine the shoulder joint to be. Yeah, and you can see that doesn't move the rest of the arm. And then the eyeballs. What happens if we do mesh separate? Well, just out of curiosity, before I do that, let's just toggle back the advanced skeleton. And, whoops. Did that actually move it though? Oh, okay. I have to rebuild it. Yeah, okay. You have to do your placement of all your controls again. Did it keep the bind? It did. That's so genius. Okay, yeah, that's a better placement on the shoulder. Now the bigger test is if we do mesh separate. I don't know if it's going to keep the bind. Let's see. It does. Amazing. But now, yeah, and again, these, I believe, let's select that and these eyeballs and isolate selected. Yeah, they're nowhere near in the right place, your eye joints. So that was part of, that was, again, I believe we go over that in the module, the fit skeleton, and doesn't it have the eye? Oh, yeah. There's a trick to getting the eye joint in the center eyeball. Da, 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 da. So yeah, let's center the pivot on these guys. Okay. Well, the other thing is are your eyes spherical? I guess they are. Yeah, it's that because of what you've done to the shape, it's not quite. It's not. I think center is more like here. So I'm just using these lines to center it. Okay. So then let's toggle fit skeleton. Oh, let's. I'm just gonna. Well, let's select the skeleton and the two eyeballs and isolate those. Okay. So the trick was to select this, then shift select that, and use the constraint. I mean, really, use the constraint. That's how I usually do it. Constraint point options, maintain offset, no, add, and then just delete the constraint. Add a delete by type constraint. That's how I usually do that. And then just get this guy, that just needs to be here. Maybe, well, let's snap it to the this thing and then pull it straight out. Oops. Make sure it's, and then pull it straight out. Okay. So that's in the right place now, and we can let's rebuild advanced skeleton again. Oh, I have it isolated, so we're not seeing all that stuff. Yeah. Okay. And now let's bind the eyes to this thing. Let's just check, is he still working? Yay, he's still working. And let's select this eye and just look for our eye star group. Okay, and under the deformation system, this is his left eye, so we'll click on that. In skin, bind skin, and we can use the default option as long as it's on selected joints. It works because it's only bound to one joint, so bind that, and let's repeat that for. I screwed that up. This is his right eye. I don't know why I said left. Okay, and then this one, and this is his left eye. Okay, is that moving with the head? No, it is not. Or are they like, let's try that again. Let me just delete the history off. Alt-Shift-D. Try that one more time. This one is his right eye. Bind skin. This is his left eye. Bind skin. Okay, there was just some history on there that was screwing it up. That's all. There we go. Alright, I can save this in case you want it. Alright, yeah, so that's the big thing to fix. Only other thing I noticed earlier was just the way, I think there's some weight painting that could be happening here. It's just, I think it's pulling too much of that. So I think what you want is, I think you want some of this to go more to the chest. Let's do maybe add to the chest a little bit. Why? Why does it have a big X on it? Why won't it let me paint the waves? Is it because of that? Let me like try to delete non-deformer history. Edit, delete by type, non-deformer history. Oh, let me do, didn't like that. I wonder if that's what's screwing it up. But wait, paint weights, that's very strange. I haven't had that problem before. Anyways, we should try to get rid of that. So the other trick here is you can export your skin weight. So let's do that real quick. Skin, export weight maps options, and yeah, 512 by 512 should be, well, we can go bigger since it's just one big surface. So actually, 512 by 512 is probably fine. Makes a black and white image where black is a weight of 0, white is a weight of 1, and everything else is, you know, shades of gray in between. Export, and yeah, it's going to put in your source images directory and call it weights. Yes. Failed to export the attribute map. Doesn't like that. Looks like it's trying to do something and failing. Oh, that's interesting. It's dang. I've never seen that one before. Well, what we could do still is maybe that's again because that separate in there. I think that's what threw it off. What I might do is go back to this one before we did that and try to export it now. We can use those weights. File, oh sorry, not file, skin, export, weight maps. Just call it. How many did these? Did it make any? No, it didn't. Or, I'm actually not sure if it did. Just call it weights 2. Okay, that looks promising. Yeah, I can see it going through all these down here. Good. That's what it should do. It takes a little while. So 63 of them. Okay, so now let's open up the other one. Recent files. The one where I fixed the eyes. And let's just delete history, and then let's bind it again. Then we can just import the weight maps. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use closest distance because it's faster, and I don't care if the weighting's bad right now. Although that's okay, but you'll probably find like the fingers are bad or something. Actually, that's surprisingly good. We might even be able to just leave it. Oh, this is all closest point is doing this well. Very impressed. Okay, yeah, then you have problems with like that you'd have to fix. So let's try importing the weights. Skin, import weight maps. This is sort of fun to watch. It usually like kind of rebuilds. It's not doing what I expected it to do. That seems to have failed. Yeah, maybe because the eyes were still part of it on that. I wasn't able to deal with that. Alright, well, you can bind again using geodesic voxel instead. I guess we can try that real quick. Is that like problem still happening? No. Okay, well, that's alright. Okay, so let's see if, oh, but we probably have to do the whole head thing over again. No, actually, oh, I did a good job. So yeah, this is, let's see if it's going to let me paint now. This was how this whole journey began. Yeah, I don't have that X thing anymore. So back to that original point. I was going to go to chest and kind of pull some of this stuff down. So just add like 0.1 per click and maybe a nice soft brush here. Oh. Oh, I have it at 1. I thought I typed in 0.1. Okay. Okay, something like that. And then, boy, I think that's still moving too much with that neck. I'm just being kind of more liberal with it now. I'm just, yeah, it adds just 0.1 each click. Yeah, that's better. It's not pulling so much of that. Yeah, you have to clean up a little bit down here, but what we can also do is the opposite. We can go to the, like the neck, for example, and just replace it with a value of 0 around there. And probably bedoy for these other neck joints too, in case there's anything there. I don't really see anything, but I'm painting it 0. Oh yeah, there's some head on there. There we go. Alright. Yeah, that's better. Okay. It took more time. Let's just save this in case you want this later. But yeah, mostly this was really good.